Okay, so today I'm gonna give you 3 juicy tips on how to make friends in your 20s. But before I do, I just wanna share with you why it might even really be important. Like I look at my life today, friends are people that you can hang out with and confide in and have fun with, but friends can be more than that. Like for me, I am busy co-creating amazing things with friends. Like people that I really admire in business, things that I'm doing huge things with, that are also my friends. And you know, one of the coolest things about being financially free is that I no longer have to tolerate people I don't like anymore. I really get to spend my time and energy with people that I enjoy all the time, which means that when I meet people, if there's not natural chemistry, if we don't like each other, guess what? I don't have to spend time with you. And that's a luxury that you can move yourself into. That's one of the things that I love about real estate. But let's talk now for a moment about this idea of how do you actually create friendships that really matter with these 3 top tips.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
The first thing that you need to be aware of is that I think it's important to believe that you're actually good at making friends. If you're nervous about making friends, I don't think you're gonna have an easy time making friends. First, you just need to make the decision before I give you these 3 tips that, hey, I actually wanna make friends. It's easy for me, it's fun for me. And immediately you're like, wait, Chris, that's actually not really true right now. How can I say that? I don't even believe it. Understand that how all things are created, they start with belief. You ever wonder where faith belongs? It's not just in a church. It's having faith in yourself and your ability to do things. So have faith that you're good at making friends and then turn that into a reality. All right, let's get going. Tip number 1. This first one is gonna sound big and maybe even hairy and unrealistic, but check it out. Decide to be charismatic, as in like an outgoing, gregarious person that's really good at connecting with people, someone that could be the life of the party, someone that knows how to actually communicate well and help other people feel comfortable. I think the reason why I feel so passionate about this is because when I got started in business, I was most definitely a nerd, kind of chubby, had low self-esteem, and I wasn't really sure of myself. I didn't even know if I felt worthy to do business. And I share that with you because I think that when I really get deep with people and get to know them, I find that those insecurities are shared amongst many of us. Now, you might have the kind of confidence where either you've overcome that or maybe you've never felt that way, but I think most of us feel unsure because we're waiting to feel sure once we have big results or we've had success or we've accomplished something. But I think that the secret of it is actually just deciding who are you going to choose to be. It doesn't matter who you've been in the past. It matters what you want to be now. And I remember when I was in my early 20s, I made the decision to be charismatic. That word specifically, and it freaking made me nervous and so uncomfortable. I was even uncomfortable shaking people's hands. But that decision and practicing it and working on it has led me to believe that, first of all, charisma is not natural. Maybe it is for some people, but it's a skill that you can acquire. If you think and choose, hey, I'm a charismatic person, how would a charismatic person act? All of a sudden, I think it's going to help you feel more comfortable to like get out of your box and stand up and share when you maybe normally wouldn't, and maybe help people feel comfortable and animate yourself a little bit. When you're going to share something, like everything you see with me here on YouTube, this at one point in my life, this was totally unnatural and terrifying. Public speaking, terrifying. But with practice, I've made it a lot more natural. And I got to be honest, there's a part of me that's super introvert. But there's a part of me that also knows by training now how to be very extrovert and enjoys that as well. So instead of believing, well, I'm just not built that way, try on for a moment that perhaps in the end, it's a choice. Okay, tip number 2, you've got to be willing to face rejection and maybe interpret it a little bit different. I mean, the reality is if you put yourself out there, could you be hurt? Yeah, if you're gonna be like all sensitive about it, but maybe putting yourself out there and meeting people and getting to know people is just a choice. So number 2, I'm recommending that you actually have this idea that says, hey, I put myself out there, I meet with people, and I connect with some people and I don't connect with others, but I try. In other words, if someone says, dude, who are you? Why should I be friends with you or get away from me? Like whatever you face, like prepare a box that some might call rejection, which would be interpreted as I have hurt feelings, and instead just label it people I don't connect with. And when you meet with people, try to connect with them. And if you don't, just put them in that we didn't connect. You don't have to turn it into a story like, oh, I got my feelings hurt and I put myself out there. In the end, this person didn't like me and I feel sad about that. Listen, I would call that emotionally unintelligent, and it's just a choice, and you don't have to make that choice. So I would basically say be okay with rejection, be okay putting yourself out there, and then knowing that some of the people that I'm going to try to connect with, I'm not. And by the way, some of the people I'm going to try to connect with, I'm going to realize I don't want to connect with them. It might be you rejecting others, and it doesn't have to be a mean thing. It's just, I think, a natural course of life. So accept it and be okay with it, and know that when you don't connect with someone, instead of feeling hurt, just say, oh, that just goes in my we didn't connect bucket, and that's okay. The third tip is to actually have a weekly goal of connecting. Goals bring about action, right? It's faith in action. I would have a goal that, hey, I'm going to put myself out there and meet 5 people every week. Actually write it down and take notes and put yourself in the habit, because if for 3, 4, 5 weeks, you actually get in the habit of every time I see someone I don't know, if I've got time, I'll go up to them or make time and actually get to know them a little bit. That's just healthy. That's part of taking that charisma, being willing to meet people you don't connect with, and having a goal. And you put the 3 of them together, and before you know it, guess what? You're getting out there, you're putting yourself out there, and you're meeting people. The worst thing that you can do is to decide that you're not built for that. I'm not built that way. It's not in my genetics. It's always been uncomfortable for me. I'm a shy person. I'm a nervous person. I'm a loner. Those are ideas. They're actually not who you are. They're just ideas you became really comfortable with a long time ago. And now in your 20s, or however old you are watching this, you're still reinforcing what isn't working. Instead, you got to recognize, wait, that doesn't work for me. And it's time to say, I'm going to try something new. Of course it's scary. Of course it's uncomfortable. It's going to be outside your comfort zone. But that's also your growth zone. That's where you actually are going to make friends. And some of these friends have the power to be lifelong friends. You know, this last year I put myself out there and I became really good friends with a man by the name of Sean Callaghy and an amazing, brilliant businesswoman, Promise Phelan. And as I spent time with these 2 individuals, I decided that I really like who I am when I'm around them, and they also invite the best out of me. We're now engaged in doing business together, but frankly, when we get together, as much as I love co-creating, I just love that we get to hang together, we respect each other's standards, and it's real, genuine friendship. And for you, if you put yourself out there and make friends, you've got the upside of either having someone that you can just hang out with for the weekend, or someone that you can confide in when you're looking for emotional support. It could be someone that you end up marrying, who knows? But it also might be someone that you co-create something incredible with. It might be a business. So you want to be good at making friends, and use these 3 tips to help you do it. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I wanted to give you an opportunity that could be a guaranteed way, literally, to make incredible friends. If you haven't been out to one of my events, then make it a point to do so. Click the link in the description below. At my events, it's filled with people that are all working on self-improvement. They want to grow themselves. They want to grow their finances. They're building confidence. And frankly, the events are life-changing. It's bonding. And I guarantee that if you go there and you're open, you're going to walk away with a bunch of new friends and become part of a tribe that's all committed to having an amazing life and accomplishing incredible things and facing failure together. It's really an incredible place to make lifelong friends. I've seen it over and over and over again. If you're really serious about actually making friends that matter of all ages, then click the link, come to one of my events, learn how to build wealth, but have a lot of fun and meet incredible like-minded people in the process. Thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's video.